Okay, I would start the webinar. I can see some people are raising their hands. Please drop your questions in the Q&A if you have them. At the end of the webinar, I would go through the questions and answer them. I feel like some of you might have joined this webinar last month. This would be a refresher of the same information that I passed in that one. But again, like if you have any fresh questions or you need like any clarification, you can stay and ask your questions. And at the end of the session, I would go through questions that you might have. Okay. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar. Today, I will just be taking you through the steps of, after you've received your offer, what the next steps are. So that's what I will be going through with you today. Okay. So again, just some housekeeping rules. I know you guys cannot speak, so ignore the keeping your mics muted. As I said, like if you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A, and I would go through questions by the end. I'll try not to keep you for too long. I'll go through the steps like really quickly, just to give you an idea of what the next steps are now that you have received your offer from DCU. Okay. So on the call today, I would be your presenter. I am Priye Bisina. I'm the regional advisor for Africa and the Middle East. So again, like if you have any questions related to your admissions or anything, please feel free to reach out directly to me as well. Okay. So just to give you like a quick overview before I go into detail, I'll take you through like the general timeline after you have received your offer. So right now, most of you would be at this stage, right? That is, your offer has been issued. It could be either a conditional offer or a firm offer from DCU. The next step would be to accept that offer. So if you have considered all your options and DCU is the right university for you, the next step would be to accept your offer. And I'll go through the steps on how to do that. After that, it would be to start thinking about accommodation and trying to arrange accommodation. Again, you would have a few options. You can choose to stay on campus or off campus. I'll go a bit into those details as well. And we'll be organizing a few webinars specifically about accommodation as well. Tomorrow, we'll be doing one on campus accommodation and the processes on how to apply. So if you have not registered for that webinar, I would strongly urge you to register so you can get as much information about DCU on campus accommodations. Okay. The next step would be to pay your tuition fees. Again, I'll go through details and where to get the information to make your fee payments to DCU. And then if you require a visa after you have paid your tuition fees, you would now need to start applying for your visas as well. I know I did a visa webinar last month. We would do another one as well, like a refresher as well for you guys. Okay, and then once you have applied for your visa and you have been successful, if you need a visa, the next step would now be to register as a student and then plan your arrival to DCU, attend orientation, and then register with immigration. Again, this applies to both students who have applied for their visa and students who have not applied for, who did not need to apply for a visa. Okay, so I'll just walk through each steps individually. Okay, so the first step would be to carefully review the offer letter that you have received and decide whether to accept or decline the offer by the deadline specified in the letter. Okay, if you do decide to accept, you must accept it through our student application portal. Okay, there will be a link or more information in your offer letter. But again, the same place where you got your offer letter would be where you would be able to respond to the offer. Okay. And then once you click on accept, you would now need to pay a 500 euro non-refundable deposit. Okay, I need to stress that that 500 euros is non-refundable except in two instances. If your visa is refused or if you do not meet the conditions of your offer. Besides those two, that 500 euros would not be refundable. So that 500 euros counts towards your final tuition fee. It's a way to signal to DCU that you are serious about starting at DCU, and it's a way to confirm your place on the program. Okay. And then depending on the program of your choice, I know some of you, your offers might have expired. So if your offer has expired, you can send an email to international admissions and they would be able to extend your offer. But again, it depends on the offer that you hold. For programs like the MSc in computing, bioprocess engineering, therapeutics, those programs are closed and cannot be extended. But for most other programs, you can. So again, if the date on your offer letter has passed and you want to accept your offer, you can send an email to the international admissions team and they would inform you if you would be able to extend your offer. Okay. The next step would be to arrange your accommodation. Again, it is advisable that you start your search for accommodation as early as possible. Okay, you can choose to apply for DCU accommodations on our DCU accommodations portal. As I mentioned earlier, we would be organizing a specific webinar for applying for DCU accommodation. So if you have not registered for that, please register for that webinar because we will go into detail about all the processes involved in applying for DCU accommodation. You can also opt to go for off-campus accommodation. Again, that is not related to DCU. So you can find listings on places like daft.ie. Our student union also designed a portal as well called the Student Pad, where you can, go through listings that are offered by landlords that are close to the university as well. Okay. Again, be sure to register for the for both accommodation webinars. We'll be holding one for on campus and one for off campus in the coming weeks. So please register for that one. Okay. The next step would be to pay your fees. Again, as an international student, you're allowed to pay your fees in two installments. So you must pay at least 60% of your total tuition fee before registration. Again, if you have all 100% of your fees, you can pay that. But if you want to pay in two installments, you must pay at least 60% of your total tuition fee. And if you opt to pay for installments, then you'll be required to pay the other 40% by January. Okay. The best way to make a fee payment is via TransferMate, and you can find more information on our fees portal. There would also be information on how to make your fee payment in your offer letter as well. Okay. Please note, we do not issue fee receipts. I cannot stress this enough. We do not issue fee receipts at the moment. Okay. So once you pay, that's one of the reasons why I am stressing that you try to make your payments through TransferMate, because TransferMate would automatically give you or issue a receipt to you. And that receipt you can use if you need to apply for your visa. On the back end, we send a spreadsheet of students who have paid tuition fees to the immigration office, so they will be able to cross-check and see how much you have paid. Okay. The next step would be to apply for your visa. So depending on your nationality, you may need to a visa to live and study in Ireland. Okay, so to learn if you need a visa to travel to Ireland, please visit the Immigration Service Delivery website or the Irish Immigration website. You'll be able to get a lot more information about that. You would need to make your application through the AVAT system, and you can find more information about applying for visas on the Irish Immigration website. Again, I did a webinar going over all that is required for making a visa application recently. I would also be doing a refresher in the future as well. So if you have any more questions, feel free to register for that session, and I'll be able to go through those questions with you as well. Okay. The next step would now be to register as a student. So if your visa is issued, um, then you can register online. I need to stress this. You need to wait. If you need a visa to come to Ireland, you need to wait till you have received a visa approval to register online as a student. Please wait until your visa has been issued before you register online. Okay. Registration key dates will be published very soon. We would also be doing a registration specific webinar as well that would go over all that it entails to register as a student as well. Okay. And then the next step would be to plan your arrival. So including booking your flights, arranging transportation from the airport to your accommodation, and then research the city of Dublin as well, familiarize yourself with the culture and lifestyle. Again, like you have all the tools available to be able to get as much information about DCU, about Dublin, as well. So please take advantage of all of that. You can also tour some of our facilities as well, take our virtual tours, and also please, you can connect with student ambassadors as well. We recently launched the Going application. I think a link would have been sent to you in your emails that you use to register to DCU as well. So I'd strongly urge you to connect ongoing with other prospective students. There would also be student ambassadors as well that you can connect with to ask questions as well. Okay. The next step after that would be to attend in-person orientation. Okay. We organize orientation program specifically for international students. There will be a webinar as well going over, what the student support and development team would offer to students as well very soon. And this would be a great opportunity as well for you to meet with other prospective students and learn about the university and also get advice on settling into life in Ireland as well. Okay. Please visit our international student support page as well to get some more information as well. This final step has changed. So you need to register with the immigration office as well. So regardless of if you require a visa to study in Ireland or not, once you enter Ireland, you would need to register with the immigration office within 90 days of your arrival. Again, in the visa webinar that I will be doing in the future, I will give updated information about how to, book an appointment to register with the immigration as well. Okay. So that is it. So you say upcoming webinars, these dates are a bit bold, but yeah, we'll be organizing visa webinars. We'll also be doing an on-campus accommodation webinar as well tomorrow. So please register for that one. Again, please, if you have not signed up for Going, please do so and check your email for the registration links as well. Okay. Yep, and make sure to follow us on our social media. These are all our handles across the internet. That will be sort of like one of the first places where you would get any new information as well. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Now